5 ways to optimize your Google search campaign. Hi, in this video we will see some basic steps on how to optimize a Google search campaign. Number 1. Schedule your campaign on specific days and hours. Number 2. Location targeting. Number 3. Interest and audiences. Number 4. Keywords and negative keywords list optimization and analysis. Number 5. Bidding strategies and conversion setup. For the strategies we have maximize clicks, CPA and target CPA, ROAS and target ROAS, enhanced CPC and others. So let's take a look on those. Let's say for example that you already have a campaign that has gathered some data for the past 2 to 4 weeks. If it's an older one, that's even better. In this one we have a ton of data for multiple of years. And we have a good ad spend for the previous month. So it is a really good campaign to see some end optimizations that we have already implemented here. One thing to keep in mind is that Google Ads Management is a game of patience, analysis and strategy. In order for you to make an analysis, you will need some historical data on the campaign. You won't be able to take the right decisions if you don't have some data to work on, and don't start telling me, then what will I be doing on the client's account for these 2 to 4 weeks? Seriously, I didn't say that and you shouldn't do that. And number 1, schedule your ads on specific days and hours. You can select your campaign and from here, add schedule. Check which days and hours does the campaign spend the most and ask your client if that is also the case. Maybe the campaign drains the budget at 11 AM to 2 PM, but the client, especially if he has a service type business like electrician or plumber, has 0 calls that specific hour range. Then you should do something about that. In this example, we can go from the left sidebar to the ad schedule and see that I have already set mainly for Monday to Friday the ads to be shown 8 AM to 5 PM. And on Saturdays to have a smaller range, while on Sundays they are completely closed. Number 2. Locations. Let's say for example that your client has a product, let's say a Greek ebook on cooking, and this ebook is in Greek, the website also is in Greek, and as for target location he has left it open. So the campaign runs all over the world. That's not something that you should do. Why? Because when you go to Google Analytics, you could see there that most of the traffic may come from India, Malaysia and other countries that they have lower average CPC, where the campaign outbids the others and get traffic while spending the budget. Don't laugh, I am serious about that. I have seen that many times and yesterday was one of them. My point is to target the right locations, set up a specific location where you can choose a target location with a zip code, with a specific area, or you can put a radius on a pin. So you have a lot of options and you can select a lot of areas, so take your time and do the work. Where you can see the location on your search campaign, on the left sidebar you go locations. You can select the whole area like this one for example. From here you can also go to the advanced settings on the locations, and you can include or exclude specific areas like here, where in this example, although I have include the whole state of Texas, I have exclude specific areas for a number of reasons that I concluded after speaking with my clients. Number 3. Interest and audiences. For this one, more likely is to have greater effects on other Google networks rather than on search network, because it has much more application on display and YouTube network. But you can use it and you can set up things also here while tracking data, and this is something that I insist on doing. For example, you may have some makeup products that only women use, so for the targeting audience, what would you do? You could exclude all men and women above from 55 years old. Also, another example, you could have an audience that has an interest on traveling, and in this case you can make some configuration and select the targeted audience to have traffic interest, either on affinity or in market. But in this case I would leave it as observation, because I don't want to exclude and miss someone that may not have this interest. Don't forget that Google Ads type of marketing for the search network is intent marketing. But why should I leave it on the observation? From our left sidebar, after we have of course selected the campaign, we go to audiences. And from here we can see that for the month of January, we had this kind of clicks for the age of 18 to 24, the next category age, and the next one, and so on. In the gender, the same, and this is the household income. That's another case for this. So from here we could exclude or include or make some changes on that as well. And from here we can see and edit some more. As for the case of how and why we should leave the observation in our audience, we can do that from here, edit exclusions, on the far bottom of this page. We can select either on the campaign level or the ad group level, and we can browse and we can, for example, see all these choices. But why we want to leave it as observation if we have some selection? Because even if a user isn't on this type of audience, he may be interested in this. So, for example, although I haven't traveled in India, I may be interested in traveling in India, but Google hasn't categorized me in this audience. So that would be this case. Number 4, keywords analysis and negative keywords. After you have a lot of data, you can choose to post some keywords that eat up budget without any significant value. For example, you may have a keyword that for the past 4 weeks it has spent about, let's say, $300, and the conversion that we got for this keyword was $45 each, while it has also a bad quality score. And in the meantime, other keywords have a solid cost per conversion at $12. What would you do? Close the one that spends $300. But on that, I would advise you to make a new landing page and put it on a separate campaign, with separate budget, so you can test it there. That way, the quality score of the keyword may increase, while you can get a better cost per conversion. Of course, the negative keywords on a search campaign is a really important aspect to use, but the right way. Take note on the keywords and the negative keywords so they won't conflict with each other. And please don't make any wrong selection on auto-apply recommendation. Number 5. Bidding strategy and conversion setup. That's a more advanced topic and needs a good understanding of campaigns behavior. It's not enough to get a certification from Google regarding the search campaign to know how each campaign behaves in each industry and country. There are a lot of differences, and there are also things to be done on the website as well. From tools and settings, measurement and conversions, you can go and see what conversions you have implemented on the Google Ads account. For example, let's say you get a new client to manage his ad account and he hasn't set up previously any conversion, but all of the campaigns are on target CPA. That's some serious shit. You have to install Google Tag Manager and create and sync the conversions between Google Ads, Google Analytics and the website as well, so you can track and have all the data that you need. For that, you will need to have either some code and web development knowledge or to partner up with a developer. Let's say that this client has services and his customers have to submit either some different type of form application so they can get in contact, or more easily they can hit a live chat button that floats on the bottom right corner that all of you have seen in a ton of websites. That button may open a messenger chat or Tidio or some other chat. I'm pretty sure that almost in all cases this quick message button is an iframe, which means you are For the form application, you will need the event to be fired if it's successfully submitted and not just a click. Almost all the plugins and apps on WordPress, Shopify, Squarespace, Wix and other CMS platforms have different approaches for a valid for submit, and without JavaScript or DOM checks, you won't be able to write a valid form submission. If the conversion events that you want to track is in an iframe, then that's a really tricky one. And if you haven't done that in the past, it may take you a lot of hours, even to some days, so you can track that event successfully or not. Iframes are essentially in other domains where the Google Tag Manager isn't installed, and you may not be able to track them if the plugin or the app doesn't give you that choice. Then, in this case, this problem is more of a coding problem rather than a marketing problem to overcome. That is something that you must understand and communicate with your client. What I mean with these two examples regarding on how to optimize your Google search campaign with Google Tag Manager and different bidding strategies is that you can achieve a lot by tracking the right conversions and auto-optimize the campaign with feeding it with the right data. Quick disclaimer about the auto-optimize, because that's another conversation and there are a ton of steps for this auto-optimize. So that's it for this video. If you watched till the end, I really thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have something to share, drop a comment below. Till then, have a nice day.